Starting again doesn't look the way motivational quotes make it seem. There is no dramatic music in the background, no sudden breakthrough, no moment where everything clicks and life feels exciting again. Starting again is quiet. It's slow. It's waking up every day knowing you don't have momentum anymore, only discipline. After I shut down my business, I thought the hardest part was over. I was wrong. Losing the business was painful, but rebuilding my life afterward tested me in ways I never expected. There was no applause for trying again, no recognition for resilience, just me, my thoughts, and the uncomfortable reality that I had to begin from the bottom with fewer years ahead of me than behind. The first thing I had to rebuild wasn't money. It was my routine. When you lose something that consumed your life, the silence afterward can destroy you if you're not careful. Suddenly, there were no urgent calls, no staff issues, no deliveries to track. Just long days with too much time to think. And thinking too much is dangerous when you're carrying regret. So I forced structure into my days. I woke up early even when I didn't feel like it. I dressed properly even when I had nowhere important to go. I made my bed. I went for walks. I applied for jobs like it was my new full-time work. Some days I sent out dozens of applications and heard nothing back. Silence can feel louder than rejection. When interviews came, they were humbling. Explaining your past failures without sounding bitter or broken is a skill nobody teaches you. I learned to own my story without defending it. I stopped saying, "It didn't work out," and started saying, "I made mistakes and learned from them." That honesty didn't always land, but it felt lighter than pretending. Eventually, I got hired. The job wasn't what I once dreamed of. It wasn't leadership. It wasn't ownership. It was execution. Showing up, following instructions, being accountable to someone else's decisions again. And I won't lie, the first few weeks hurt my ego more than my body ever could. I took orders from people younger than me. I sat in meetings where I saw mistakes forming but had no authority to change them. I reminded myself daily that this wasn't a punishment. It was a season, a necessary one. What surprised me was how much I had changed. I noticed problems before others did. I understood why systems failed, not just how. I handled pressure calmly because I had experienced worse. When things went wrong, I didn't panic. Failure had already stripped fear out of me. Once you've lost everything, small setbacks don't scare you anymore. Slowly, my confidence returned, but it was different this time. Quieter, less arrogant. I stopped needing to prove anything. I worked hard without announcing it. I listened more. I spoke less. Experience had humbled me, but it also sharpened me. Financially, rebuilding was slow, painfully slow. Starting from zero as an adult is different from starting at zero when you're young. There's no illusion that time will magically fix everything. Every decision carries weight. Every expense feels personal. I learned to respect small money again. I celebrated modest wins. Paying a bill on time felt like progress. Having a little left at the end of the month felt like a victory. I stopped comparing my life to people who seemed ahead. Comparison only steals energy you need for survival. Some nights were still heavy. Regret doesn't disappear just because you're moving forward. It waits. It shows up when you're tired, when you're alone, when you remember the version of yourself who once believed he had it all figured out. But I made peace with something important. I stopped wishing to go back. I no longer wanted to undo my past. As painful as it was, it shaped me into someone more grounded, someone less naive, someone who understands that success without wisdom is fragile. Rebuilding also changed how I see success. I no longer chase titles. I chase stability. I no longer want fast growth. I want sustainable growth. I don't want to impress people, I want peace. I began to think about business again, not with desperation, but with caution. Not from ego, but from clarity. I started writing ideas down, not to rush into them, but to understand them. I asked harder questions this time. What happens if revenue drops? What if a client leaves? What risks am I ignoring because I'm excited? Experience doesn't make you fearless, it makes you careful. Some people around me didn't understand why I wasn't rushing to bounce back. They expected me to rebuild quickly, to prove I still had it. But rebuilding isn't about speed. It's about foundation. I wasn't interested in another collapse. What rebuilding really taught me is this. Life doesn't end when plans fail. It simplifies. You stop chasing illusions. You stop performing. You stop pretending you're invincible. You become honest about your limits. And in that honesty, there is freedom. If you're watching this and you're in the middle of rebuilding, I want to speak directly to you. You're not weak for needing time. You're not lazy for moving slowly. Healing, learning, and recalibrating take effort that nobody sees. You don't owe anyone a comeback story. You don't owe anyone proof that you're still capable. You only owe yourself patience. Rebuilding is not glamorous. It's repetitive. It's showing up when motivation is gone. It's choosing discipline over drama. It's trusting that small, consistent steps matter even when they feel insignificant. I still don't have everything I want. I'm still building. I still have doubts. But I have something I didn't have before: clarity. I know who I am without success. I know I can survive without applause. I know I can lose and still stand. And that knowledge is priceless. If life ever knocks me down again, it won't find me unprepared. Because I've learned that starting again isn't proof of failure. It's proof of courage. It means you refuse to let one chapter define your entire story. This is what rebuilding really looks like: quiet, uncelebrated, slow, but real. And real progress, even when nobody is watching, still counts.